Okay, so let's see today, inshallah, I'm gonna talk about simplify expressions lesson. We'll see how can we actually combine like terms and if there's any specific conditions to follow. First thing I need to discuss is the idea of like terms. How can I determine that the two terms or more are like terms? So basically, I look at the variable side. If they both have the same variable, the exact same variable, then both of the terms are like, even if the numbers or the signs are different. So let's take, for example, this term, negative 0.5x, and this one 1 over 2x. They are like terms because of the x variable. Both of them have the same variable x, so therefore we consider them as like terms. As well as the 2.1x, this is a like term with all these, the other two. Okay, so these three terms are considered to be like terms, although they have different signs, different variables, as you can see, 1 over 2, 2.1, 0.5. But still, I don't care. I just care about the variable. Since they have the same variable, then they are considered as like terms. And yes, I can combine them if they have the same variable, which means if they are like terms. Okay, what about the other terms? Can another variable, should it be an x, or can I have, like, let's say y? Yes, it can be another variable. For example, 3 over 5y is a like term with, again, negative 2.1y. And again, I said because both of them have the same variable y. Okay, so my one and only condition for two terms to be like is that the variable part should be the same. If you have a variable, it should be the same variable. If you don't have a variable, it's totally okay. Then both terms should not have a variable. So this term 3 over 5y have the same variable as this term negative 2.1y. Again, both of them have the same y variable. The number is different, but we don't care. Still, we call it like term. So let's take an example. Numbers. Can numbers be like term? Yes. All numbers with different types without a variable, can you see there is no variable part, they are like terms to each other, which is basically the default case we have been always doing. We consider them as like term because we can combine them, we can just group them out because they are all considered as numbers with no variable. So yes, it's okay, they are like terms. But suppose you have number 2 and then another term is 2x. Are they like terms? No, because here we have a variable. Here we don't have a variable, which is it's only 2. But here we have a variable. So the variable part is not the same. Here we don't have, and here we do have. So it's not the same. So they are not like terms. So yes, all the terms that are highlighted in green are like terms to each other, and red are like terms to each other, and in blue are like terms to each other. طيب, let's move forward to the next idea I want to talk about. We also discussed before the associative property, commutative identity. We can use this property in simplifying expressions. It's just something we do it in nature, but there's 2 rules in simplifying expression I have to follow. The first one is very important, which is you can only combine like terms, and only like terms. You cannot combine two terms that are not like. For example, term 2x and the other term is, let's say, 2y. They are not like terms, so I cannot combine them. But if I want to combine, let's say, another example, 3y with 1 over 2y, yes, I can combine them because they have the same variable, and then I have to combine only the number part and keep the variable as it is. Okay, let's see in details how can I combine like terms and how can this help me in simplifying expressions. Another rule I have to follow when I'm working with like terms with the simplifying expressions is basically the saddest rule. I have to use saddest rule. If you remember, same signs add, different signs subtract, and always put the sign of the greater absolute value of a number. So basically, if you have, let's say, a quick example, -6 plus, let's say, 3. The 3 sign is positive, the 6 sign is negative. They have different signs, so I need to subtract them. 6 minus 3 is basically 3. Now, which sign should I choose? I should choose the greatest absolute value. So which one is greater, 6 or 3? 6, so I will take the sign of the 6, which is negative. So the answer is going to be -3. We all know that. I'm just doing a quick reminder for the ones that maybe need that. Let's see a quick example on how can I combine like terms. So here we have an example of algebraic expression where I need to simplify it. So let's see where are the like terms, how can I combine them, and what are the rules. So looking at this algebraic expression, first thing I have to put like terms in group them or put them in similar shapes or underline them or highlight them in any method. It doesn't matter as long as you can tell yourself that okay, this term and that term are like. So what I like to do is I like to say that -2c, of course you have to take the sign with it. This is a term and it has another like term to it, which is positive 3c. You take the variable with the number with the sign together in a shape. They are also like term. I can combine it with as well a -4c. Again, I take the variable number and the sign. Type, let's try to combine these together and see. So I have -2, +3, and -4. Remember the rule, when I want to add or combine like terms, I take the variable, write it as it is in the answer, and only combine the number part. So just on the side, I'll do a quick calculation. How can I combine -4 and -2 and +3? Okay, so let's see. You take the number with the sign that is next to it. Okay, so let's take first two numbers together to make it easier on ourselves. Again, the rule was same signs add, different signs subtract. Since both of them have negative sign, same sign, so I need to add the 4 plus 2 is gonna give us 6, and put the sign of the greatest absolute value. 4 has a greater value, so I will take its sign, which is negative. Now the -6 plus the 3. Since the 6 is negative, the 3 is positive, then I have to go to saddest rule, different signs. I need to subtract 6 minus 3. It's going to give us 3, and put the sign of the greatest absolute value, which is 6. Its sign is negative, so the answer will be -3. So the total answer after combining these three numbers is going to give us -3. Of course, I write the c down, which is our variable part. Please don't forget the variable. Variable is our friend, and we never leave a friend behind. Okay? طيب. Am I done? Of course not. I still have other terms. I need to determine if I'm gonna combine them or I'm gonna just write them down. If they are like terms, of course I can combine them. Let's see here. So both of them are numbers and they don't have a variable next to them. So basically this makes them like terms. Now let's combine them. I have +7 and -5 on the side. +7, -5. Of course, if there was a variable, I'm going to write it down, but there is no variable. So just work with the numbers normally. Different signs. The 7 is positive, the 5 is negative. Different signs subtract. So 7 minus 5 is going to give us 2. And we put the sign of the greatest absolute value, which is 7. This number, which is 7, the sign is positive, so it's going to give us positive 2 or plus 2. Okay, so the final answer is, there is no more to combine these two. I cannot combine them. The final answer is negative 3 plus 2. And this is how we combine like terms. Okay, let's take another example. Let's take, for example, this one. Okay, let me remove these. Okay. I'm gonna just add on this part, on this example, another part. I will add something just very quickly, just so that I will cover all ideas. Suppose you also have minus f plus g plus 2g, let's say. Okay, so this is a long example, but still it's gonna cover for you every idea about this lesson. And by the end of this example, we're gonna be done with the combining and simplifying expression. Okay, so basically here they want us to simplify this expression. Let's see. First thing, I need to highlight or circle out like terms. So here I have negative 2.8f is a like term with positive 0.9f. It's a like term also with negative f. Okay, but miss, the f does not have a number next to it. So what number I'm gonna work with? Always in math, keep this as a rule. If there is no number next to the variable, in this case the f, there is no number next to it, there's a hidden number. It's basically number 1. And the reason behind it is 1, if it's gonna be, we know that should be multiplication between them. If it's gonna be multiplied to f, it will not change f or affect it. So putting it or just hiding it will not affect the expression. So if there is no number next to the variable, the hidden number is 1. Okay, now let's work with the variables. Let's try to combine them. Of course, I'm gonna just take the variable, put it in the answer, and work with the numbers on the side. Okay, so I have negative 2.8, positive 0.9, and then negative 1. Okay, let's take each two numbers together. Again, I'm gonna use saddest rule, same signs add, different signs subtract. So negative 2.8 and positive 0.9 are different signs, so I need to subtract them basically. Okay, if you cannot subtract them mentally, do it step by step. Subtract them again on a corner, or maybe anywhere you like. In my case, I would just prefer take the negative 1, hide it away for a second, just maybe put it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna try to subtract these, because the rule was to different signs subtract them. Okay, 8 minus 9 is not enough. I'm gonna regroup. 2 is gonna be 1. 8 will be 18. Now 18 minus 9 is 9. Put the decimal under each other. 1 minus 0 is 1. I'm not done yet. I still have to determine what is the sign of this answer. Of course, we put the sign of the greatest number, which is negative. Now I have the answer is negative 1.9. I also have the negative 1. I should not forget it. Now the negative 1, in order to combine them, I need to make it in a decimal form. I know that it's going to be 1 is basically 1.0 as well. It's the same value. I'm just putting a decimal point, just to make it easier when I'm combining them, and 0 because just there is no value in the tenths. Anyways, let's see here. Same signs add, different signs subtract. Since both of them are same sign, I need to add them. Yeah, let's go ahead and add them. 9 plus 0, always start from the right one out. 9 plus 0 is 9. Put the decimal under each other. 1 plus 1 is 2. And put the sign of the greatest number, which is going to be negative. So my final answer is negative 2.9 f. Okay, I'm still not done. I still have some terms to combine. So here I have the numbers. I can combine numbers together, negative 12 and negative 4. Let's combine them maybe on the side here. So negative 4 and negative 12, again use the rule, same signs, add different signs, subtract. Both of them are negative, so they're the same sign. I need to add them. 12 plus 4 mentally is going to be 16. Put the sign of the greatest number, which is going to be negative. So negative 16, of course there is no variable, so there is no variable to write down. Now my last term is, this is kind of interesting. My last term is positive 2g, and it has no other term like to it. With what should I combine it? With nothing, just take it to the answer right away. Okay, and this is the final answer for simplifying this long expression. We got this simpler and combined compressed form. Try to solve word problem of this lesson. For example, try to do question number 13. Find the parameter. To find the parameter of any shape, you need to add the sides of it. So basically, you're going to add this, plus again this, which is 1 over 2 x minus 7 is the same as the opposite. And this one, again, it's x, same as the opposite one. Try to solve such questions, even some arguments. Solve all questions in the book. Check out the answer key and let me know if you still have some problems.